Coach, this is a big one for you. West Memphis always is, but this year in particular, just the way that your season is planned out and where you're at, needing a big win in the conference against perhaps the best team you'll play all week, if the team you played last week wasn't that. So.
Yeah, I mean, just the history of the game. It's really one of our few remaining rivalries that we have from the old conference. I mean, from back in the day when it was Jonesboro, Blytheville, Forest City, West Memphis, all those guys. I mean, this is the lone kind of natural rivalry that we have left. And then the fact that, where we're sitting in the standings, just based on this year's conference standings and how big it is for seeding purposes, for the playoffs. And then, going back to last year, last year we were sitting in the same boat, just the records were flipped. So we were 6-0, they were 4-2. We just come off a big win against Pine Bluff, and we go to their place and lose. So there's a lot at stake. There's revenge on the mind, and then just the rivalry history. It's a big week.
Not just a loss last year, but a loss in the last minute with a little bit of controversy. Has that come up this week? Have your kids? I mean, is that something that your kids talk about going into this one?
Well, I mean, we brought it up. I mean, it's when we had our team meeting, our big team meeting on Monday, we put on the screen, on the projector of them running out on the field after the last play of the game, and it was the last play of the game. I mean, the clock was at zeros. They make a good throw and catch, about 30 yards, sort of a Hail Mary, but not. I mean, they had to get it to the end zone, but not the traditional Hail Mary that you would think of. But yeah, it's been talked about. It's one of those deals that it sticks with you for a little while because you're looking at an undefeated season, conference championship outright. All those things play a part in it, and yeah, you don't forget it easily.
Unfortunately for you, one of the themes of your season is you've been hit hard by some injuries to some really key players. Yep. How has your team done, and how have your guys that have had to kind of step up? What's that element been like for you?
Well, it's different. I mean, with football, you're gonna have injuries, but we've never had it with so many in key spots. When you talk about your Mike linebacker, who's your quarterback on defense, and then your actual quarterback on offense, and your senior running back, and then just key guys that contribute on special teams that kind of go unnoticed. Your holder on extra points. I mean, all these things. It's been tough, but one thing that if you can find something that's positive or exciting or however you want to phrase it about injuries is that I've always been amazed at how kids step up when it's their time. Kids that you wouldn't normally expect, or kids that themselves don't expect to be in that situation, get thrust into it, and their play level rises. So it's been fun to watch that, and although you're looking at probably 3 or 4 of your top 7 or 8 players that have gone down with injury. It's fun to watch those guys step in those roles and see how they perform.
West Memphis is 6-0. Offensively, they're a little bit like you, a spread, going to throw it all over the ballpark. Yep. What are some of the keys to the game for the Hurricane to win this week?
Well, I mean, it starts with their quarterback because they're spread, mostly trips tight. They do a lot of RPO stuff, which is kind of the trend now. It's slowing down that RPO style of ball that even though the big plays haven't happened a lot for them, and they have happened some, but not a lot, they're really, really good at matriculating the ball through the air, which doesn't happen a whole lot. And I wouldn't say that it's a short passing game, attack, anything like that. It's that RPO that people are going toward now. So it all starts with the quarterback. We got to do a good job. But when we get a chance to put pressure on them, get a hit on them, we got to do it. And then secondly, they've got 2 receivers that are really good and a couple running backs that are really good. in the past for us, when we've had trouble, it's given up the explosive plays. And we've done the analytics on it for the last couple seasons. Two factors contribute more than anything to winning and losing, and that's turnover battle and explosive plays. And if you can win the turnover battle and the explosive plays, we're like 98% over the last 2 years of winning those games. When it's split, it's kind of a toss-up, and if we lose both of those categories, it's like a 2% chance to win a game. So those are the key areas that we got to focus on, and if we can do that, we always tell our kids, if we can take care of those things, we can live with the outcome.